So, welcome guys to another Battlecast, Land Battle 1-1, Kislev against the Ogre Kingdoms. And yeah, you can see my War Bear Riders riding over here with Boris Ursus, and that means I'm playing Kislev. And yeah, let's start with my army composition. And yeah, I think the options against the Ogre Kingdoms on the Kislev roster are quite limited, so you have to bring what you get or what is available. And for this reason, I brought these Warbear Riders. They are very, very expensive with a price of 1,600 credits. So I spent 3,200 credits for two groups over here, but it is, in my opinion, necessary. They are anti-large monsters. They really hit like trucks against enemy large entities. We have a huge amount of weapon strength with 110. Good IP values with 77, and the bonus of versus large is 23. They are for itself very heavily armored with 95, and against the Ogre Kingdoms I really think it's quite necessary to bring these guys. Then, of course, Boris Ursus as the only lord with anti-large values. It is quite important on the roster to bring Boris Ursus. He's not just in this matchup. He's a very, very... I really love this lord over here. He has a good amount of AP, of armor. He's very heavily armored for itself with 105. And he has also a bonus versus large with 25, was the most important part against over here against the Ogre Kingdom. So I really love him riding with the other Warbear Riders, and against the Ogre Kingdoms this is a quite good solution, I think. In addition, I brought the Snow Leopard over here with a price of 650 credits. I think this is quite cheap. You can bring also 2 or 3. I think 2 is enough, but it's very cheap. You do nothing wrong, and this guy is also a anti-large monster and can support your Warbear Riders, cavalry, or whatever against large entities. So I think against the Ogre Kingdoms this is quite good. So let's come to my infantry corps. We have the Sagard over here, and the Sagard is, in my opinion, probably the price is a little bit too high. We have a price of 1,000 credits. They guys are shielded. They have a silver shield, so I thought, okay, I bring them in the front line at least to hold the line for some time against the ogres. And then I have to support them or do something else to win this battle. But of course, they are not able to hold the line for a very long time against all these large entities, all these monster ogres. This is not possible. And I think 1,000 credits is also very, very expensive overall for the Saga. So not just in this matchup. So overall, I think they count as a high tier infantry unit, but I don't think they are high tier. I think this is a mid-range infantry unit, and the price of 800 credits should be enough. The amount of armor is 90, and they have a really good melee defense, and for that reason I put them in the front line. But of course, they are not able to hold the line against all these ogres. This is clear. Then we have directly in the second row the armored coursers with great weapons. They are really the plan was they have a ranged ability, so they can throw their stuff in the second from the second row in the front line and then engage for itself. So they start to engage then and support the Sagard, and this was the plan over here. These guys are causing armor piercing damage in melee combat, and for this reason I thought it's quite okay. Then we have two group of coursers with spear. This is a missile infantry unit, but in melee combat they are anti-large. So I brought 2, but I think you can also bring much more. So you can bring also in this matchup 3 or 4, because this is a quite decent price. I think the price is 500 credits, and this is very, very good. They are anti-large melee combat, so they can defend themselves from enemy cavalry, ogres, and all that stuff. So I think you can also bring 3 or 4 in this matchup or in other matches. This is quite a good unit. Then we have a Frost Maiden. So if you have Boris Ursus on the battlefield, you need an additional hero for magic, of course. So I brought this lady, and that was everything from my army composition. Let's go to my opponent. We have the Ogre Bulls over here, cheap monstrous infantry unit for 500 credits. Not much more to talk about. Then we have the Gnobler Trappers over here. This is a missile infantry version of the Gnoblers. So he brought a cheap frontline with these Gnoblers over here. My Saga should be able to clean this up, no problem. And then he brought a Skrug the Slaughterer. I think in this matchup quite decent pick against my Kislev infantry. I should have a lot of problem against this guy over here, this anti-infantry monster, anti-infantry lord. Quite good pick against my army composition. And for the more heavy stuff, we have Iron Guts. I think 2 or 3 groups. These guys have a price about 1000 credit. I think they're quite heavily armored. The weapon strength is very high with 100, and they cause AP damage. So my infantry should have problems over here. So I haven't brought Sargats with great weapons, and for this reason I should have many problems against these Iron Guards in this match. And yeah, last but not least, very far away we have these Georgias. These guys have stalk, so yeah, I can't see them. And they are hidden, and he deployed them very far away in a vanguard position, and his plan was of course to flank me from behind, or to hit me from behind. These guys have they are pure damage dealers. They have a huge amount of weapon strength with 110. The amount of AP damage is 77, so also the AP damage for a damage dealer unit is very, very high. They count as an AP damage unit. This is incredibly good, and they, in addition to that, we have a bonus versus infantry of 20. Therefore we have nearly no melee defense and armor, so this is pure damage output. But as I said, they are immune to psychology. They have stalk. They can deploy them in a vanguard position, and they are damage dealers with AP damage values. This is, and he has 2 units, so I think 1000 credits for 1 unit. And yeah, of course his plan was to attack me from behind. So let's start over here with the fight, and you can see I tried to flank the hill from the left side to get up on the hill, because he had directly on the hill a Iron Blaster over here, so I had to march against him. And of course I tried to march forward with my infantry against the hill, and from the side I tried to attack over there. So let's see what happens. I directly engaged, of course, in these Ogre Bulls, no problem whatsoever. You can do this. Also the Iron Guards, the Warbears, should be able to handle this, or at least they have a quite even fight. The problem over here was, you can see he's separated my Boris Ursus with his Crushers. I forgot to mention, these Crushers are incredible high tier cavalry unit. We have an amount of 130 of their armor amount is incredible huge, and we have also an incredible huge amount of weapon strength with 130, and the AP values are also very good. So this is a problem. They should be able to kill my Boris Ursus, but you can see I dispatched my Snow Leopard to support him over here. So let's come to the frontline fight, and you can see the first Gnoblers are running away. The Sargard were really able to handle this over here, and directly in the middle here a Hailstorm going down. And the Ogre Bulls did not take too much damage from these spells, and at least I was able to hold the line with the Armored Coursers for Great Weapon for some time. And also the Sargard is doing much better than I thought it would. And but Scrag the Slaughterer is over here, and yeah, it's really a problem. Also on the left flank over here, the Sargards are really get annihilated from the Iron Guards, so this is really a problem. Meanwhile, on the left flank, you can see the fight running not so well, because now the Georgians joining the fight. As I said, they attacked, we deployed them in a vanguard position. I haven't seen them, and now it looks very, very bad for me. You can see my Iron Warbears are melting away. Now the Iron Guards joining again. You can see the Iron Guards, I damaged them quite a lot with my Warbears, but now with the Georgians it is a huge problem. Meanwhile, I tried to at least to kill the Iron Blaster over here on the hill with my Frostmane, but I saw that I have so much trouble on the left flank that I have to do something about. Another Hailstorm going down over here, but nearly doesn't do that much damage. And now I joined the fight with my Frostmaiden over here to support my unit. But because this was clear, my main infantry corps was very weak, and I haven't brought great weapons to the battlefield, and so for this reason I have to win this fight on the left flank, on the left hill flank, to win this whole battle. Meanwhile, in the front line, you can see he's breaking through. We have some Sargards and great weapons fighting this Scrag the Slaughterer, but he's designed for that fight, so especially against these fights over here, it's very, very prepared for that. So I don't have I should have stayed with my maiden probably in the main army corps to attack his Scrag the Slaughterer over here. Now here in the back line we have some coursers with spear. Of course these guys have anti-large values, but against a quite healthy group of Iron Guards I have no chance. So it now doesn't look that good against in the infantry fight, but that was clear. I said, okay, I have to win the cav fight, then it's probably winnable because my infantry corps is very cheap or no great weapons in there and stuff. And meanwhile, you can see now my Boris Ursus get more and more damage from these Iron Guts in addition with the Gnoblast. The Georgias really make the difference over here. You can see they are very healthy. All his other stuff, the Iron Guts and the Crushers and stuff, I really was able to handle it with my Warbears. But the Georgias were too much. You can see we have still one very, very, very healthy unit, two very healthy units of these Georgias. And you can see another high storm, but you can see it nearly makes no damage, and this should be it. GG. Good fight with my opponent. With the Georges, he really managed to kill my Warbears and stuff. This was too much. Just against the Iron Guts and against his Crushers, I would have won it. But very good gameplay. So if I saw the Georges, I would have acted another way, or would have go other way. Maybe I would go with my cavalry or with my Warbears and make some trouble directly in the front line to win the front line fight, to win the infantry fight. But I haven't seen these guys. And as I said, they hit like trucks. They have a huge amount of AP damage. And this was an incredible good gameplay of my opponent. But GG to my opponent, very well played. And I hope you liked this battle cast. And yeah, see you next time. Thank you. Have a nice evening.